You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the August 4th meeting for the LaPorte County Parks and Recreation Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'd like to call the August 4th LaPorte County Park Board meeting to order. Can we have a roll call?
Jesse, Allison, Jim,
Here.
Mike,
Here.
Ron,
Here.
Nick,
Here.
Mary Nell, here, and Evan.
Present. Okay, let's go ahead and stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, approval of the agenda. Has everyone had a chance to look at the agenda? Any discussion about the agenda? Okay, hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the agenda as written?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. The minutes, any questions or corrections for the minutes?
No.
Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Public comment. Any public comment?
We have
Here-
public.
We have public, but we have no comment. So we'll move on to the financial reports. Any questions about the financial report? Looks like their finances are pretty much normal for this time of year.
Yeah, I think she said the electric grant,
Yes.
yeah, so that
Electric is now
is zero now, so that we've got the rest of the year. That might be a little bit earlier than we
Normally
normally
do.
would, but prices have gone up. We did get an increase this year, next year, I should say.
Good.
That being said, we've always run out early, not usually at the 1st of August, but
Yeah.
we've always used our non-reverting funds to shore that up. And the justification for that has always been that, our rentals use electricity. We get money off of that, so we're using some of that money to put back into, paying for electric to help relieve the burden on the county as far as, our electric costs. So, we did ask for an increase in that, and we did get that this year in our budget, or next year, I should say, but still, it's not gonna get us through a whole year.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, any other questions about the financial report? Can I have a motion to accept the financial report as written?
So moved.
Okay, and a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Jeremy, take it away for the superintendent's
Okay.
report.
So disc golf grant update, that one had kind of stalled out for a little while just because I had a lot of other things going on, but I did put in for an HFL grant to try to get the disc golf improvements and upgrades at Creek Ridge. I haven't heard back. I don't know when that would be that I would hear back. I think, at least a month or two. So I put in for $25,000. I look for that cost of that project to be probably 40 or so, and we've got, but a lot of that is labor and things like that. Volunteers will help. We are looking to put in some money towards that as well. The Red Mill 25th anniversary history.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. Who did you say you asked for the grant from?
Health Foundation of LaPorte.
Great.
So, Red Mill 25th anniversary history project update. I also put in for a $25,000 HFL grant for that. I put in for $5,000 from Unity and the Power for Good grant, and I also, the Park Foundation has already put forward $20,000 to get that going. I met with the sculptor artist.
Right.
He came out, took a bunch of pictures, and kind of got a rough estimate of this project, and he's looking at 30,000 or so. It's going to be big. It's not a little sculpture like the size of this trash can over here. it's big. And with that, the signage, we're looking at probably 15 grand from a local vendor, and then the staircase, we would build the staircase in-house, so that would save us some money there, but probably $5,000 for that. And so yeah, we're looking at that's going to be a pretty expensive project, pushing $50,000 probably. So, but it's going to be a amazing project when we get it done.
Great.
Any questions on it?
Just a comment on that to add. Thriving communities have parks, have well-maintained parks, which we have, and also art installations, and it commemorates what the park is.
Yeah.
So I think it's great because when I go there, in my dreams, Red Mill has it still functioning, right? So when I go there, I would like to see something,
Yeah.
and I'm excited.
You know,
for
and
next year.
another thing we talked about was possibly having the crew build a small replica of a mill that has water running in the summer and, you know, has the
Yeah.
you know, we have one in the office, or in the hallway that is operational. We actually had it on the 4th of July float this year, which was pretty cool, and it actually turns, you know, but we talked about maybe being able to do something like that, building a little pond somewhere, and then, so that's another possibility depending on money left and things like that, but I think that would be really cool to have that, plus the replica, the sculpture
Yes.
of the parts and stuff, and I think that would be really neat.
And the cool part is our staff is just so talented.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
They can
They
make
are.
something like that replica
Yeah.
happen very,
Yeah.
very quickly.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have our staff that are amazing and do a lot of things for us in-house, saving money, we love that word,
Yeah.
right? And they're just great at what they do.
Yeah.
For sure.
The beaver activity update, so we hired a vendor, he's been trying to trap for 3 to 4 weeks and has not had any success.
Really? Oh.
So I've asked him to take his traps and go on. I'm gonna try another one.
Yeah.
Not happy with, you know, how it went, and I think we should have caught some, but
Yeah.
it didn't happen, so.
How long was he at the traps? Like, how long was he at trapping?
It's been 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, so. Santa's reindeer program, we had, so that's a program that we have somebody bring in a live reindeer, and that's fairly costly, and we have had donations from the CVB and Reith Riley for this year that will cover that. We're still working on possibly donation to cover the symphony orchestra to come in, and have a couple of people come in and play music again, so we're still working on that, but we've got the reindeer costs covered, and we're still moving forward with that. Foundation project updates, I just wanted to mention, they approved $17,000 to replace the roof over here on the maintenance building at Lure here. And then also, so what we have been going on is that our crew put on a new roof on the Fat restroom at the Fat Trailhead. So the restroom at the Fat Trailhead at Bloom, that was funded by the foundation. In process, the maintenance building roof at Bloom is, materials should arrive this week, and he should be getting that done. That was paid for by the foundation. The prescribed berm for the prairie is planned for this fall, also paid for by the foundation. And then a pond observation deck, that's going to be done in-house, but they're getting stuff ready for that right now. They're moving from fixing the paved trail, some spots on the paved trail to right to that pond observation deck. So that should be happening soon.
And that's at Bloom, though.
Yeah,
that
all
pond,
of that
right?
was at
Right.
Bloom, yeah. And then at Lure, the invasive removal, the contractor has done much of the work there for that. He has some spraying to finish up. That was a $10,000 thing from the foundation. And then the architectural design for the nature center was also done, so for $5,000. So we're ready to start looking for money to to enclose parts of this nature center that have overhangs and then expand and remodel kind of, so. A lot of that work will be done in-house by our staff when we, in winter and stuff like that when we have the time. But it may not be this winter because we're going to be needing to look for money. So that's the foundation updates. Just wanted to mention too that we are needing volunteers for Pioneer Days, especially on Sunday. I know several of you have offered your time, and but we would, the public too, if somebody wants to volunteer for Pioneer Days to help us out, give us a call. Call the office of the Nature Center, and we'll be happy to talk to you about what we have available.
Jeremy, I'm going to reach out to the local Audubon group, and they do volunteer work with the birds program here, and they may want to
that'd be
volunteer
fine.
for that.
Yeah. Maintenance and construction report, I just wanted to say, you guys already said it, but our maintenance crew they were out this week cutting raised points in the paved trails at Bloom, cutting them out, regrading underneath, putting new base in, and putting coal patch down, all in-house, because they were basically trip hazards at this point, and bikes were, if you were riding a bike on it, they were pretty bad. They were like speed bumps, but worse. They were more immediate and hard to see. So they did that. I can't even imagine what that would have cost us to have done, but Highway Department is keeping track of the coal patch. We'll just reimburse them for the coal patch we use, so that, worked out really nice. We had it right there. We didn't have to go find it or whatever. But, and then program report, they do so many programs. I don't know how they keep up with it, but April and Lacey are just amazing at what, the number of programs and the quality of programs they're putting out there. But tomorrow night, again, I'll plug it. My daughter's doing a poetry program. She's a poetry major at Indiana State. She's a published poet already. So if you're interested in poetry, come out. She's helping people write poetry and read poetry and that kind of thing. So
I'm sorry, Jeremy, back with that sounds great. I'm going to promote that with the Audubon group too. But with the maintenance and construction, I meant to ask, with the huge storm that went through, I know Chesterton got hit really badly. So were we getting
Bloom had quite a few trees down, but honestly, the guys were out there right afterwards, and within a couple of days, they had it cleaned up.
Please give them, and then also April and Lacey are big thanks.
And then, so that's about it on the superintendent's reports. If you have any questions.
Question for the poetry event tomorrow. What time and where is it at?
5 o'clock here.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, very good. Committee reports. The executive committee does not have a report. Budget committee, Nick?
The budget was approved as we submitted it. We asked for some increases in fuel and electric and a few items. Pond stocking, we asked for, prices have significantly gone up, and I said pond stocking, but we don't do stocking. We do weed control to make it a little bit easier to fish and not have fish kills at the end of the year because of all the dying debris. So they approved those. Originally, we had asked for extra money and consultant fees because we were going for a grant for Hunt Lake, and that didn't work out. So I told them that, take that out of the budget. There's no reason for it to be sitting there. But if something comes up, I plan to go back and ask for it. So.
Okay. Personnel committee?
No report on that.
Okay. Property committee?
Property committee has no report either.
Okay. Planning committee?
Yeah, so Evan and Jeremy and I met before this meeting and talked about a proposal that Christina,
Christina,
who's a part-time employee with us and graphic designer, had come up with a proposal on online selling of stickers and shirts and LaPorte County parks merch. And so we talked about it, and we're gonna slowly take the next steps. We don't wanna jump into anything, I guess that was mainly me saying that, too fast. But we all like the idea of it, and various uses for merchandise like that. And so Jeremy's gonna be speaking next with,
Sarah.
oh, yeah, for the webpage that
Yeah.
that currently do our website, those folks, and see, their thoughts on it, and we'll slowly go forward.
Yeah, and also talk with our foundation, because I think this is, potentially maybe more of a foundation project for fundraising, or, and we talked about possibly doing some of it in-house, like getting a printer that could print
Yes.
stickers and our maps. Right now, we're paying, significant money for our maps. And if we got a good enough printer that could do that ourselves, again, you're saving money, right? So, just looking into those kind of things with the planning committee, so.
And with our
Did you have
parks,
something to add?
yeah, with our parks, people are proud of our parks.
Very
So why not wear a little merch that says, hey, we like our parks and you should go visit us
And we
sometime?
should be proud of our parks because
Yeah.
they're excellent.
They are.
The only thing I have to add is e-commerce online store. We're excited to explore the next steps for this online vision.
Yeah. Sounds great to me. Okay, anything else on planning?
Do we have anything else, Jeremy, for next year to talk about?
No, I think, we're working, just working on the celebration of the 50 years and 25, and those ideas are still coming, so planning for fundraising opportunities for the anniversaries, and then also one of the things that they did at 25 years, which I think is a good idea, is a book that, not a book, but a publication that talks about the 50 years, maybe
The history.
touches on the first 25 and then all the changes in the next 25. And then Red Mill obviously has that 25, and we've got a big project going there. So programming, we're going to be pushing out history of the parks, celebrate, programs next year and that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. Rules Committee.
I wanted to touch, so pricing discussion continued. I've been in discussions with a company called Civic Plus who does online registrations. And this is I get these calls all the time. A lot of parks have gone to online registrations. All of ours are paper, telephone, they inquire about it online, but then it's all telephone, mailing, and all of these kind of things. And I told the person, like, look, it's going to have to be the right time, the right price, I didn't think it was even a possibility. I thought the cost was going to be just so, just out there. But what he's proposing is an online system that essentially anybody can get online. They would also have it to where they could call us and we could help them if they maybe aren't comfortable doing it online. The one thing we were talking about it in the planning committee a little bit too is that the one thing I didn't ask is if we can take cash or credit card or cash or check right there at the office. I don't know if that's
Possibility.
a possibility. I know that you could enter the card in, but I don't know if cash or check would be an option. I'm assuming there'd be something that can be done for that. But so essentially, it would be for all of our rentals. They would also be able to do program registrations if we wanted them to do that. We could do the dog parks. We could do all of that type of stuff on there. So, and all of it would be digital. So we would not have to send out contracts and stuff all the time. They would sign it right there. The rules are right there. Everything would be done online. There wouldn't be this June urgency by people to be waiting for us when we get there at 7 in the morning because of the whole year. It would be, we would set a time, whether it's 7 o'clock or whether it's midnight, that whoever is on there first and registers for that date gets it, right? Regnal is the one we're always worrying about. But, and we have had people where there were multiple people there and we had to figure out who was there first.
Oh my gosh.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, it's a thing, you know,
Okay,
and
yeah.
not a lot, we're always worried about it, but that first weekend after graduation and the second
Yeah.
weekend after graduation, it's just so there are some really good things that could come out of this, and I think it would be convenient for the people, as long as we're not discriminating against people who don't want to use the internet and credit card, you know, that kind of thing. The fees, you know, I was thinking it would be a whole lot more, but the fees for the management, recreation management is a standard program, training for the staff, virtual consulting, and, you know, external processors, and then the annual fee and all that was basically just over $12,000. And then the next year, annual recurring services is under 10,000. So I just got this, so I didn't have time to really put that to numbers on like how much it would cost per rental to see whether we say, okay, maybe it's $5 a rental or whatever, $10 a rental. Is that a cost we could just add on to raise our prices to that? Is it worth that to increase the cost for our guests? I don't know yet. I wanted to bring it up, but I just got it, so I think it's something we need to look into a little bit more and decide whether the cost of that is worth it, right? And I don't, the other thing is, I don't, that is not a cost we can just say, yeah, it's worth it to do it without raising the prices. It would have to be something that
Offset the cost.
Something has to
be in.
$10 processing fee applied to every registration.
Right, and if that's, you know, if it's time to raise prices anyway, and we say, yeah, it's gonna be about
Do it all
$10 per rental, is that worth it?
Then we
You know,
factor
that's
that in.
Up to the board.
Yeah, and I think we just need to do the math to see how it shakes out from how many rentals we have, how many registrations we have for programs, the dog park, maybe merch has something to do, we could
Yeah.
fold that into it, we don't know. It may be very advantageous. It takes a lot of pressure off the staff when they have to go through all that stuff every single month or sometimes on a daily basis for rentals. It may be well worth it.
Yeah.
It may free up staff and.
It seems inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the national parks even,
Yeah, that's all.
recreation.gov,
Yeah. Campsites,
everything.
everything's going that way. And like I told him, it's just, I don't know if it's the right time, but let's look
Right.
into it, because I've never really
Great.
gone through the motions to even look into it
Yeah.
really deeply, so.
And
One
if we
thing-
had 2 rentals, it might be an easy thing to say, no, that isn't for
Yeah.
us. But we don't, we have
Yeah.
lots, and
Yeah.
we're not gonna get less, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
One thought, we talked about the 7 a.m. thing is, for some, you know, if you're thinking about access for people, some people might use a computer at the library. And so we may want to, you know, think about
Coordinate
that
that,
when,
yeah.
you know, like,
Yeah.
it starts at 10 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah.
and they'll probably be able to tell us, those folks that just absolutely are
Yeah.
not gonna use an online system, how do we get them into our process without having access? Do they have to come here at whatever
They
time?
still could continue to do that,
Yeah.
you know.
It's good
Yeah,
to have
and we
both.
discussed that.
Yeah.
We discussed the fact that people could come to the office and still do a registration with us entering their information right there.
Right there.
Good,
system.
good.
Because I said, you know, I don't want to have anybody that says, I can't do that, I'm not going to be able to.
Right. And you don't want to be totally reliant, like what if they get malware and they're
Yeah.
down, and so
Yeah.
we all have to do it all manually anyway.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm a millennial, we all know that. I like both, I like paper and I like digital. It's inevitable, we already said that word, as a board to have these talks already, even if this board doesn't decide it, being proactive and progressive and moving more digital, I think it's good to have a hybrid and do both. Because one day, I'm gonna say it, we're gonna have to just go digital. So having those grassroots talks now and trying to plan on, how do we go digital, if it's that something we wanna do now or later, I think it's great we're talking about that together.
Are you having people ask for it now?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know that they're asking for it, but I think they expect,
Yeah.
if you go to state parks, everything is online. If you go to, now they do have a phone-in system too, but all of the bigger parks departments, everything, that's the way, when I go to the IPRA conferences and stuff, these people are there that do these programs.
Okay.
And they talk about, well, Lake County has it, or Porter, whoever. It's just, it's convenient. Some people may not think it's convenient, but I think the masses are getting used to that.
Yeah.
And it's just like having a way to donate online or anything, we were, how many years ago did we decide to finally accept credit cards? We were taking cash and checks until
Only.
about 7 years ago or so. So I mean,
that's what it was.
it's just the next
Next
thing
step.
to start talking about and
Yeah.
looking at. So.
Yeah, and I do backpacking, and even if you want a campsite on some of the backpacking trails in Michigan, you have to sign up online before you get there, or you're gonna find some parking lot to camp in. So you gotta be able to navigate that. And I
What's
didn't
your
know that.
experience on that?
What's that?
What's your experience on it? Are you okay with, do you like that? Is it?
Yeah.
It would have been nice,
Online?
it would have been nice to know that I was supposed to do that before.
Okay, all right. So marketing maybe is another thing we need to talk
Yeah.
about in the future. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the thing we find is the people who are planning ahead, a year ahead, are calling a lot of times beforehand, or they look online and say, okay, I gotta call at
Yes.
7, or I gotta be at the door at 7. We've got one lady that is there waiting for us for a certain weekend every year for,
Yeah.
I mean, she is.
And she probably would not.
Yeah, she
Oh.
probably
do that.
wouldn't, but we can talk to her about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Walk her through it. But I think it's just, the experience I've had is, it's frustrating because it's accessible to everybody, right? If you're not, she would be the one wanting to wait there at the door and get it at the time, right? When everybody can get on there at 7 o'clock in the morning, and whoever happens to get it entered first or hit
Right.
reserve now, or however that works, that might be a little,
A learning curve.
yeah,
Yes.
it'll be a learning curve for
Yeah.
sure.
And you may have some people that are really unhappy with that learning curve. But
I don't think so.
But I from personal experience,
Yeah.
try to get a permit on the John Muir, which 95% of the people don't on their first try. 95%.
Yeah,
That's okay.
and Michigan,
That's
Michigan's campsites in particular it's crazy trying to get a campsite in Michigan.
Is
It
it
just, because there's so much tourism going up there. But
That's the culture they built.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's culture.
they fill them up.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Any other questions about the direction we're moving for that? We don't need a vote on any of that. That's something that we're going to do, and I think that's a good thing. I think we'll get there eventually, and hopefully sooner than later.
yeah. I actually want to touch on something on
Okay.
the business. I forgot to mention something here, but it's not on the move, so.
Okay. Any old business that we need to be aware of? Not hearing any, let's go to new business.
So I sent an email out today about this asphalt crack repair machine, walk behind machine that I'm looking at buying, and I just wanted to kind of get the boards. I wanted to mention what we're looking at here. It's getting harder and harder to get pricing for crack sealing and those kind of things, especially smaller jobs. Like if I have thousands and thousands of feet of cracks, I can get a quote, but I got quotes for all of our parking lots, and so just for this parking lot here, Lure County Park parking lot, not the trails, just the parking lot. It was 2,387 feet of cracks in the parking lot. Okay. And that all they're doing is blowing it out and sealing it with rubberized seal. The quote for that was $5,967.50. Okay, so that's $2.50 per crack or per foot. I can buy this machine that has good reviews. It looks pretty easy to use. It's kind of this company's top-of-the-line machine for about $4,500. And that comes with 15,000 feet worth of crack filling material. So it comes to, with the machine, it comes to 30 cents per foot. And then when I need to buy more, it's about 15 cents per foot. And I mean, my guys, you know the crew, they'll do it. And I think they would. The other thing about doing it that way is we would have opportunities to, as cracks come up, you got a 20-foot crack, go do it. You know, instead of saying, well, we gotta wait till we have
Enough, yeah.
2,000 feet.
Till now, we have to repair a whole section
Yeah.
of the asphalt
Yeah,
instead of
because-
just getting the crack taken care of.
So I would like to propose we go ahead and buy this. If you look at our financial report, and you look down at the non-reverting for other supplies, the balance we have in there is $21,743.53. And if you remember, one of the things that we can't really do in all of those non-reverting accounts is once we go over once there's over $50,000 in there, we have to take some out, right? So if we go and we spend $4,500 out of here right now, which we're gonna be spending electric and other things out of there, but we're in pretty good shape. We have, I think it'd be a smart purchase to go ahead and do it and, you know, start working on these cracks ourselves and trying to make this happen.
No, I think it's a good idea, and it's a very wise use of our funds.
And I also called them and asked what the shelf life is on 15,000 feet of material, because it's a big pallet, and they said 10 years.
Oh,
great.
Cool.
So we're good. So,
So we're good. Okay.
Yeah.
So we should probably have a motion to accept the pricing to purchase the Asphalt Kingdom's equipment and material.
I would make that motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Good. I think that's a good investment in
we've
fiscal
got a lot more
responsibility.
asphalt, and I mean, you know, and it's costly. Now, we're not gonna seal the whole parking lots, obviously, but we can try to keep up on the cracks and then hire the sealing done if it needs it.
The maintenance and upkeep we have in-house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Very good. Any other new business? Okay. Board and staff comments.
I had a question
sure.
for rules, going back to rules. The dog park here at Lure.
Okay.
What does it mean for permit? Do you get that from the township?
No, so there's a mailbox as you go in there.
Okay.
And you just grab it, fill it out, put the money in the envelope, and one copy of that in the envelope, drop it in the drop box, and we will send you a dog tag that you put on the dog's collar.
Okay.
And so everybody's supposed to have those that uses our dog parks.
So it's LaPorte County Parks dog permit.
Yes.
Is it just good for Lure or all of our dog parks? we
Lure,
have?
Creek Ridge, the animal shelter, and Bloom. So you can go to any of the 4 dog parks for that permit. With that permit, I'm sorry.
Awesome. Thank you. I was looking at that and I was like, well, that's a good question to
Yeah.
ask at the next board meeting. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure if I have the question,
Somebody else
someone
does.
online.
Yeah,
has it.
and yeah.
Cool, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments? Hearing none, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
In a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned. We will see you next in October 6th at Red Mill County Park.
So no meeting.